Hi, I'm Paul Barry from Acting for Camera, and welcome to the 4-week online memorization challenge. This is your introductory video. No one else is going to be seeing this, only you guys have signed up, so thank you very much for signing up. I hope you get a great deal out of this, and I'm very, very sure that you will. I just want to start with a little bit about what this is actually going to entail, and then a little bit of what you need to know to prepare for it. So you will be receiving on Tuesdays and Thursdays Pacific Standard Time, because I'm here in LA, you'll be receiving a video tutorial from me, a bit of a lesson in a format like this, and you'll be doing that work yourself, and then I'll be instructing you. You'll get full instructions about what you need to send back to me. Sometimes it will just be like a Word document or in an email. You can send back some of the notes that you've been taking from what we've been doing, and sometimes you'll record a video like this. It doesn't have to be very good quality, just so I can see you and hear you doing some of the memorization exercises back to me. Sometimes they'll be just general memorization exercises, sometimes they'll be lists, sometimes they'll be all sorts of different things that you can learn at the time. Sometimes we'll be working on a monologue, sometimes a scene, and as we go over the 4 weeks they'll get more and more challenging, and then by the end I'll give you more instructions about what you need to send back, and it'll probably get a little more work as we go, but it probably won't get more difficult because what you're actually learning will be increasing your abilities and your confidence, so you'll be spending about the same amount of time to remember more information as you go. So that's the basic idea, but you'll be sent instructions the whole time. So in terms of memorization, just starting generally, most of us have really, really good memories anyway, even if we think we don't. We think we don't sometimes because we're focusing only on the few things that we keep forgetting rather than the thousands of things that we absorb and remember every single day. So the first thing to acknowledge is that your memory already is pretty good. Memorization happens unconsciously all of the time when things stand out, when we associate them with other things, and through just general repetition, to the point where when you're a child and someone says, "Oh, this is Uncle Paul," and you hear the sound, "Oh," you don't quite know what that means. And over time, the face, the personality, the look, the voice, the treatment from that uncle always is associated with that name. And after a while, you start saying it and nobody corrects you, so all of a sudden you know it. Where memory is difficult is when we have to remember things that don't logically follow, where they are non sequiturs, where they don't necessarily flow naturally or logically. So when you look at a script, you remember most of it already because it's generally fairly conversational, it makes sense, it's pretty obvious to you. Where it gets difficult is where it doesn't naturally flow, oftentimes where there's a beat change or something changes that you're not quite expecting, or it's not the way you would speak, or it's tricky dialogue or jargon, or you have to say something like polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon or pediatric oncology, or something that you're not used to saying. This is where it gets difficult, and this is where these memorization techniques come in very handy. So the idea is you don't have to apply these techniques to every single line, because then you'll be getting in the way and slowing yourself down on the parts that you normally would just do unconsciously anyway. These are specifically techniques to use on the tricky parts. And as I say to people generally about acting on screen or acting at all, is that you should spend at least 50% of your rehearsal time on the tough parts. Even if the tough parts only comprise 3 lines in a 3-page scene, spend 50% of your time on those, because you're not a fool. If they're difficult for you, they'll be difficult for everybody. If you spend that time working on the tough parts and everybody else does pretty much the same job as you on the rest of the script, what's going to stand out is the tricky parts that you did absolutely just seamlessly, easily, effortlessly, standing on your head. That's how you're going to stand out in a way that other people don't. That's how you're going to stand out for the right reasons. So, to begin with, we already remember a bunch of things unconsciously. We use these techniques for the tough parts. And the idea is we remember stuff that's logical and literal and linear and so on unconsciously. But if we don't remember it, there is no point using logical, linear, or literal methods to recall it, because if that worked, we would already know it. So we must use non-linear, tangential workarounds to recall the information that we want to recall. So, as simple as this can possibly be, even though people say There are different learning styles. There's visual and auditory and kinesthetic. Studies recently have shown that, like the left brain, right brain theory, actually are completely wrong. They're completely debunked. That the brain is the same pretty much for everybody, that it uses the whole brain. You're not using only 5% of the capacity of your brain. You are using the whole brain. Sometimes I say to people, it's like on your computer, all of the information that you have already received, smelt, tasted, felt, all that, is already in the system. It's just what you don't have is a shortcut on your desktop that takes you directly to where you want to go. So in a way, even though the idea of the brain being like a computer has also been debunked, it's not a bad analogy to use when it comes to accessing information. It's pretty much all there in the hard drive, but the memorization techniques are shortcuts that take you directly to where you want to be. And how we do that, even though people say I'm auditory, I'm kinesthetic, I'm visual, I'm whatever, we all actually remember the stuff that's visual, and this is a really great way for us to do it. So straight away, I'll give you a list of 12 colors, and we'll just test this theory that everybody can do this. And just listen to these colors. Don't even try and remember them. Just listen to the colors. Green, blue, red, orange, yellow, purple, black, grey, pink, indigo, gold, ivory. Now take a moment, and if I start speaking before you've had a chance to do it, just press pause and then come back and start again. But I want you to just, right now, off the top of your head, just tell me all of the colors that you remembered. There are 12 of them. Okay, go. Okay, so you can pause and if you like, otherwise we'll just keep going. So green, blue, red, orange, yellow, purple, black, grey, pink, indigo, gold, ivory. So you probably remember the first few and the last few. First few is called the primacy effect, last few is called the recency effect. We're more likely to remember the first few and the last few. And then other than that, we're likely to remember the ones that stand out. So we remember the first, generally, we remember the last, generally, we remember the ones that stand out, and we remember the ones that we associate with other things. So if anything stood out for you, it probably fit into those 4 categories. If it didn't, we need to make it fit into those 4 categories, or one of those categories, to make it memorable. So now just listen to this story. The Incredible Hulk, who is green, jumps into the blue ocean. Splash! Splashes blue water all over red Spider-Man, who's so shocked he spits out the orange that he was eating. And the orange bounces off the yellow brick road and splats into a purple grapevine. And the purple grape juice splashes all over Black Darth Vader, and he's covered in this juice, so he has to take off his black garb, and he's got a gorgeous grey suit. And to offset the grey suit, he puts on a lovely pink tie, and then he takes the pink tie and he ties the end of it around the door handle of the Indigo Lounge, the Indiegogo Lounge, and he pulls the door open and gold comes falling out, and because the gold is cleared, he then sees an elephant with massive ivory tusks. So just slowly, once again, I'll take you through it. So the Incredible Hulk, who is green, jumps into the blue ocean, splashes water over red Spider-Man, who's so shocked he spits out an orange. The orange bounces off the yellow brick road, splats into a purple grapevine. The purple juice splashes all over Black Darth Vader's clothes. He takes off his garb. He's got a gorgeous grey suit. He puts on a lovely pink tie, and he puts the pink tie, he ties it around the end of the handle of the Indigo Lounge, pulls the door open, gold falls out, and there's an elephant with massive ivory tusks poking its head out through the door. Now, just try this. So, the Incredible Hulk is what color? He jumps into the ocean, he splashes water all over Spider-Man, who is so shocked he spits out and that goes bouncing off the brick road and splats into a grapevine, and the juice of the grapevine lands all over this person it's so dirty they take it off, and they're wearing a lovely, what coloured suit? They put on a tie of a particular colour, they tie it to the Indigo Lounge door, and then they pull it open and something falls out, and now it's all fallen out. Behind it you see an elephant So, pause it now, do the colours in order, don't guess, take your time. and then come back. Welcome back. Now I want you to do it backwards. Pause the video if you need to and start with the elephant with the, and work your way backwards slowly. Don't guess, work your way backwards until you get through all the 12 colors. Welcome back. So hopefully from that you'll see you very easily remembered, if not 12, at least 9, 10, maybe 11 colors, and you can do it backwards. Now if I say to you, what are the colors on either side of black? You go straight to the image of Darth Vader wearing his black suit. Why did he have to take the black off? Because he got hit with the purple. What did he do after he took off the black? He had a grey suit. So you see that all of these linking images that we've created are like links in a chain. It doesn't matter which link you pick up, everything on either side of it will come with it. Exactly the same principle is used when it comes to memorizing lines. As I say, you will already remember most of your lines because they're logical to you, they're literal, they make sense. But where they don't, that's where you have the weak link in a chain, and a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. So this is what we need to work on. We spend 50% at least of our rehearsal time working on those tough parts, on the weak links. So that's what I want you to start practicing with as a warm-up. You can also go to this link right here, and that will take you to another memorization one, and that will link you to another one when you get there. These are other ones you may have seen already, but if not, these are just practices and warm-ups. I'll do these with you occasionally. You can also use your initiative, and when you learn this technique like you just have today, you can apply exactly the same thing to other lists, to other things, to your shopping list, whatever you want to memorize, because when you do, you're just exercising the brain so that when it comes to learning lines, you have a whole set of images that are already accessible so that you can speed the process up. But anyway, that's the start. That's just giving you a little bit of a heads up about how this is going to run. That's giving you a little bit of an idea about memory generally, and then that's giving you a little exercise to start as a warm-up with the links available there so that you can try some of the other exercises. But as I say, this is the introduction. This is not one of the videos that you're going to get in the course. I wanted to send this to you so that you know we're on our way, we're good to go. You're the only ones that are going to be seeing this because you've signed up to the course, and I look forward to the next 4 weeks with you until you have the most extraordinary memories, and then hopefully this dramatically helps your auditions and your career. So I look forward to working with you. We'll talk very soon.